Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8-Second Gaming. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the best heroes to play in order to push from Diamond or Masters into Grandmasters. And even if you are Grandmasters, you might want to find your way higher in the ranks, and we've got you covered. But if you guys really want to take your Overwatch skill to the next level, then you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there, we have top level coaches creating the best, most highly informative guides to make you the best player you could possibly be. Doesn't matter what you struggle with, we have guides for you, so click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, and start to improve today. But okay, let's get into things. And first, before we actually get into the heroes, we're going to be talking about what we are looking for in these picks. Since meta is significantly more important here, we're going to be looking at heroes that are essential to learn and play at this level in the meta that work across the board. So not only are we going to give you the hero to play, but we're also going to be giving you a little bit of advice on how to play them. Each pick in each role is going to be focused on your ability to carry games, as that is what's going to be getting you into higher elo. You just have to be able to find value where others won't be able to. So now let's get into the actual picks, and starting off, we're going to be talking about the DPS role. And for here, we have to go with Hanzo. We have talked about Hanzo quite a bit in some previous videos, but we will make sure to recover everything that is essential. But our main reason as to why he is the best pick you should learn to climb higher is his flexibility. Hanzo is an extremely versatile pick. He works with every other DPS, every tank, and every support lineup, and is great on every map. He will also help you unleash the full power of your mechanics, as even if you aren't the best mechanical player, Hanzo can absolutely be a powerhouse regardless. And if you have amazing mechanics, that's all the better, because you can go on even more aggressive off angles and flanks to find picks other heroes simply wouldn't be able to find, or win duels other heroes couldn't dream of winning. By this rank, you should have a good understanding of what you need to do in order to win a fight. Disappearing from your team and giving value is a massive detriment, and so when looking to find flanks or off angles, your sonar arrow makes sure the enemies are exactly where you want them to be by the time you reach your desired position. Not only that, but with the high burst damage you are able to output, there's pretty much no way you can't find consistent value, even if it means just having to lay into the enemy tank. Now I know some people are not too down for the Hanzo pick, but we've also got you guys covered, so feel free to lock in Torbjorn. Seriously, we aren't trolling with this pick in higher elos. You will see Genji, Tracer, or Sombra in every game, and many more Winston players where that comes from. Torb just has a unique way of completely negating the value of enemies, as his burst damage from up close is higher than almost every hero in the game, and his long range damage is a force to be reckoned with. As you can imagine, from range he is considerably comparable to Hanzo, simply with a slower projectile speed. And just like Hanzo, your duel potential is absolutely amazing, even into tanks. This is extremely useful, especially since your turret will be able to keep anyone attempting to flank you or your backline away, allowing you to put your attention into the enemy front line. But that's our DPS covered, so now let's move into our tank. And for our tank pick, you know we've got to put Ramattra, but can you really be surprised? We have been talking about this pick non-stop when it comes to his brawling, his sustain, and his pick potential, because it's just unmatched. Junker Queen doesn't even come close to Ramattra's ability to brawl, as without armor as a tank, you are going to seriously struggle when the entire enemy team is looking at you. Ramattra also doesn't have the same weakness into Ana or Zenyatta as the Queen does, as sure they will bully Ramattra, but not nearly as hard thanks to his poke potential. As you learn to understand the resource game in Overwatch, you can really limit test yourself as Ramattra. Staying alive is the goal on tank while being able to output ton of pressure to maintain or take space from the enemies. And the 225 armor you can bring out on an 8-second cooldown is near unmatched. Not to mention the massive leap to 675 armor you can get once you have your ultimate as you go in and out of Nemesis form. From poke to brawl, there really isn't someone doing a better job than Ramattra. Your single target burst damage is pretty much unmatched while keeping your survivability up, which means learning Ramattra is going to be an absolute must. But if you don't feel like learning him and need someone a bit more versatile, then D.Va is going to be the pick for you. She has great mobility, works into pretty much everyone, works on all maps. She can stall or brawl on the point, peel better than anyone. I mean, should I say more? Learning both of these tanks will certainly make you push into the higher elos, as they complement each other so well. If you need to be able to brawl more and don't need to utilize mobility as much, go Ramattra. But for pretty much every other circumstance, D.Va is your best bet, as she covers all ground extremely well. You also, just like Ramattra, have great burst damage into single targets and are extremely tanky with your massive health pool stacked with armor and self-destructing once the enemies are finally able to burst you down to be able to get your mech again. Really just keeps you in the fight longer than you should be allowed. But we've covered our DPS, we've covered our tanks, so there's only one role left to talk about, and that's going to be the supports. And as for our support picks, we've got to give it to Lucio. Sure, he isn't the most versatile, but in a meta revolving around getting your tank in and out, is there really any better support? He is an extremely complex hero, as regardless of how low his skill floor is, he is still one if not the hardest support to master, and the way to do so is learning to play back to front. This means having the know-how and when to get from the front line, making sure your tank is speed boosted at enemies' faces, to peeling your support who will likely be pressured by the majority of the enemy team, especially if they have a flanker. And again, this hero rewards mechanics tremendously. A good Lucio can win the majority of duels, especially into those flankers, but you mainly do this based off the enemy's lack of respect for such a fast hero. You can run circles around the enemies, and flankers usually don't pay much respect to a Lucio's damage output, meaning when you burst them down for over half their HP within 2 seconds, they are forced to either back out or simply die in the duel. But one massive mistake we see Lucio players making is the waste of beat. Your ultimate is a fight-changing ultimate, yet way too many times Lucios are using it way too early and usually completely wasting it. Don't get us wrong, Beaten is extremely difficult ultimate to use properly regardless of how simple it may seem. Just pressing the button and finding LOS of your team isn't enough to find its full value. Instead, you're going to have to ensure it saves people from death. This means waiting till the last second, double checking there's enough damage to follow up on Graviton Surge or Shatter, and not instinctively using it whenever enemies start popping out ultimates. Now, these heroes will absolutely help you push into the higher elos, especially from GM5 to GM1, but let us know your favorite hero to climb within the comments down below, and if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Overwatch tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thanks all for watching. Once again, I'm Second Game, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But if you guys are really looking to take your Overwatch game to the next level, then you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there, we have top-level coaches creating the best, most highly informative guides possible to make you the best player you can be. Doesn't matter if you want to get better positioning, decision-making, aim, learn new heroes, it doesn't matter. We have guides for you. So click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, and start to improve today.